Hello friends, welcome to my channel. You can search my all the educational videos by typing Pravinesh publication in YouTube. If you have any query regarding my videos as well as any topic, then you can WhatsApp me on my number. My number is 9016487991. Watch my videos till end, and if you like this video, then please press the subscribe button which is given in the bottom corner and press the bell icon so you will get all the updates. Friends, today I will start Standard 10 Science Biology Chapter 7. The heading of the chapter is Control and Coordination. Friends, what is control and coordination? In our body, our brain controls each and every activity of the body. So it controls everything in our body. Same as in plants. Friends, plants, they don't have any brain, but even all the activities are regulated by the plant structure. Next word is coordination. What is the meaning of coordination? Here friends, all the organs in human body, we have many organs like heart, lungs, liver, stomach, kidney, etc. So we all coordinate with each other's, all the organs coordinate with each other's, and we will survive. Friends, I'll ask you a question. If you are sitting in a school, will you clap at that time? Will you whistle at that time? Will you stand and make a noise in the class in front of your teacher? No. Why? Because we human beings, we know what to behave, when to behave, and how to behave. We know where we can do such activities like do whistling. We obviously do whenever the friend circles are together, or we have any get together, or you are in theatre. But when you are in school class or any tuition class, you will be very quiet, you will listen your teacher, and you will follow each and every activity. So at that time your behavior is different. Why? That is due to this control and coordination in our body. Friends, before starting this chapter from the textbook, let us understand two important words of this chapter, and they are stimuli and impulses. Here, what is the meaning of stimuli? Before that, I'll ask you a question. When you go to kitchen, you will get the smell what is being cooked in the kitchen. So that is via your nose. Second, you watch this video right now, that is with the help of your eye. Next, you hear the sound of my video, that is with the help of ear. When you go to any restaurant, you taste some food and you can say that food is citrus or sweet or bitter, that is with the help of your tongue. Somebody will touch you, so that you can get information with the help of your skin. So these are the main 5 organs present in our body which captures the sensation of surrounding, and these are eye, ear, nose, tongue and skin. Friends, in our body we have receptors. What is the meaning of receptors? Receptors, they capture information from the surrounding. We have an eye, so that we have video receptors. Ear, so that is audio receptors, so that means we can listen properly. Noise, so that is smell receptors, and they are also known as olfactory receptors. Tongue, so that is taste, so that is gastroreceptors. Skin, so that is touch, so that is thigmoreceptors. So these are the main 5 organs by which we get the information from the surrounding. Now, what is the meaning of stimuli? Friends, if I say stand up, so you will get my instruction via voice and you will stand up. So what is the meaning of stimuli? Whatever information we get from the surrounding, and due to this information we respond, is known as stimuli. Again, the definition of stimuli: the external environmental change due to which we respond is known as stimuli. It means whatever the external environmental changes happen, that is known as stimuli. Whenever they are outside the body, so that is known as stimuli. This information is known as stimuli. Next word is impulse. What is the meaning of impulse? Friends, whenever this stimuli enter into our body, that has to travel in our brain. So during this, this information travels through electrical impulses, and that is known as impulse. So I hope you understood these two words, stimuli and impulses. Now friends, in our body, for this control and coordination, we have a three main system. The first system is CNS, that is known as central nervous system, which includes brain and spinal cord. Friends, about CNS we discuss later. Next is PNS, that is peripheral nervous system, which includes nerves. Next is ANS, that is autonomic nervous system. These three are main important system of our body. Let us understand one by one. First we understand about the PNS, that is peripheral nervous system, then after central nervous system, and then after autonomous nervous system. Friends, now PNS, that is peripheral nervous system. In PNS, the main part is nerves, that is also known as neuron. Friends, we understood the diagram of nerve cell last year. In detail, we will discuss about the nerve cell later in this section. How many types of nerves we have? Sensory neuron, motor neuron and relay neuron. Friends, before understanding these three nerve cell or a neuron, what is nerve? These are the transportation system of our body which transport the important message from outside the body to brain and brain to different organs, so we can show our movements. For example, I am showing the movement of my muscles right now. It is coordinated by my brain. Whatever I'll say, these are all in the sequence forms. Friends, next I'll explain about the sensory neuron, then after motor neuron, and then after relay neuron. So these are all properly arranged sequence in my body which are controlled by the brain. So this is the main transportation system for the transfer of impulses from one part of the body to other. Now sensory neuron. What is a sensory neuron do? Friends, it will take information from all the organs to brain. Then after, the brain interpret in between, brain thinks about the situation, and then after give message to motor neuron, and this motor neuron takes this information to different organs of the body. Next is relay neuron. Friends, what is relay neuron? Which makes a connection between sensory neuron and motor neuron. So this is about the nerves, that is neuron. Friends, from brain, the nerves arises are known as cranial nerves, and they are 12 in number, 12 pairs of cranial nerves. From spinal cord, spinal nerves arises, and they are 31 in number. So this is the information about the PNS, that is peripheral nervous system. What is the function of peripheral nervous system? It captures the information from the surrounding with the help of nerve cell, and it will take this information towards the brain. So friends, we understood PNS, that is peripheral nervous system. Now let us understand this chapter from the text. In the previous chapter, we look at life processes involved in the maintenance functioning in living organisms. There we had started with a notion we all have that if we see something moving, it is alive. Some of this movement are in fact the result of growth. As in plants, a seed germinates and grows, and we can see that the seedling moves over the course of a few days. It pushes soil aside that comes out, but if its growth were to be stopped, these movements would not happen. Some movements, as in many animals and some plants, are not connected with growth. A cat running, children playing on a swing, buffaloes chewing cud, these are not movements caused by growth. Friends, in our body there are few movements which are not related to growth and which are related to growth. Same as in plant, there are two types of movement. One is a growth related and the second one is not growth related. We will understand this in the later section of a chapter. Why do we associate such visible movement with life? A possible answer is that we think of movement as a response to change in the environment of the organisms. The cat may be running because it has seen a mouse. Not only that, We also think of movement as an attempt by living organisms to use changes in their environment to their advantage. Plants grow out into the sunshine. Children try to get pleasure and fun out of swinging. Buffaloes chew curd to help break up the food as so to be able to digest it better. When bright light is focused on our eyes or when we touch a hot object, we detect the change and response to it with movement in order to protect ourselves. If we think a bit more about this, it becomes apparent that all this movement in response to the environment is carefully controlled. Each kind of change in the environment evokes an appropriate movement in response. When we want to talk to our friends in class, we whisper rather than shouting loudly. Clearly, the movement to be made depends on the event that is triggering it. Therefore, such controlled movement must be connected to the recognition of various events in the environment, followed by only the correct movement in response. In other words, living organisms must use system providing control and coordination in keeping with the general principles of body organization. In multicellular organisms, specialized tissue are used to provide this control and coordination activities. Friends, we have many tissue present in our body, and this tissue control and coordinates will finally affect the movement. For example, I am showing some movement right now. Which movement? My lips movement, tongue movement, and this muscular movement. These all are controlled by my brain. So I can show this visible movement to other living organisms. Now 7.1, animal nervous system. In animals, such control and coordination are powered by the nervous and muscular tissue, which we have studied in class 9. Touching a hot object is an urgent and dangerous situation for us. We need to detect it and respond to it. How do we detect that we are touching a hot object? All information from our environment is detected by the specialized tip of some nerve cells. These receptors are usually located in our sense organs such as the inner ear, the nose, the tongue, and so on. So, gustatory receptors will detect taste while olfactory receptors will detect smell. Friends, as I told, we have 5 receptors in our body. What is the meaning of receptors? They capture the information from the surrounding. First, that is nose. Second is eye. Third is ear. Fourth is tongue. And fifth one is skin. So these are the 5 receptors which captures the information from the surrounding, and it will travel this information towards the brain. Friends, in a diagram 7.1, A, that is structure of neuron, you can see that, and this diagram already we understood from standard 9. This is a structure of neuron in which you can see the dendrite. These are the tip present in our skin which captures the information from the surrounding. Then after nucleus, cell body, axon where the electrical impulses travel, and then after at nerve ending it spreads some chemicals which reaches to the next nerve cell's dendritic tip. In diagram B, that is neuromuscular junction, you can see that a neuromuscular junction is shown in the magnified diagram. The gap between two nerve cells is known as synapse. Friends, when you can see in the diagram A, one nerve cell is shown. After nerve ending spread some chemicals, these chemicals will reaches to the next nerve cell. There is no physical connection between these two, and this connection is known as synapse. This information acquired at the end of the dendritic tip of a nerve cell sets of chemical reactions that creates an electrical impulse. This impulse travels from the dendrite to the cell body and then along the axon to its end. At the end of the axon, the electrical impulse sets off the release of some chemicals. These chemicals cross the gap or synapse and start a similar electrical impulse in a dendritic of the next neuron. This is a general scheme of how nervous impulses travel in the body. A similar synapse finally allowed delivery of such impulses from neurons to other cells, such as muscle cells or a gland. It is thus no surprise that nervous tissue is made up of an organized network of nerve cells or neurons and is specialized for conducting information via electrical impulses from one part of the body to another. Look at the figure 7.1a and identify the part of a neuron first where the information is acquired. So answer is dendritic tip. Second, through which information travels as an electrical impulses. So its answer is axon. And third, where these impulses must be converted into a chemical signals for onward transmission. So that is answer is nerve ending. Now friends, activity 7.1. Put some sugar in your mouth. How does it taste? Block your nose by pressing it between your thumb and index finger. Now eat sugar again. Is there any difference in its taste? While eating lunch, block your nose in the same way and notice if you can fully appreciate the taste of the food you are eating. Friends, when you eat some sugar and block your nose, you are not supposed to take the fully taste of this sugar. Is there a difference in how sugar and food taste if your nose is blocked? If so, why might this be happening? Read and talk about possible explanation for this kind of differences. Do you come across a similar situation when you have a cold? Friends, whenever we have a cough and cold, we are not able to fully appreciate the taste of a food we eat. Why? Because there is a direct connection between the nose muscles and the tongue muscle, that is a food pipe and windpipe. So we are not able to appreciate the taste when we have a cold. So friends, in this topic I'll explain about some system of the body. First definition is stimuli, second definition is impulses. Next is the three main system, that is CNS, PNS and ANS. Then after we discuss about the PNS, types of nerve cells, and then after the detail of nerve cells. So friends, now read the textbook thoroughly, underline the important words and try to understand the concept. If you have any query, then you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. Thank you.